rolling.
This video is on how to take care of your violin. When we have our violin in its case, we want to make sure that it is never upside down.
No, we have to put this.
That's right. Elise is helping us. This is my daughter Elise. If it's upside down, you'll see the little buttons or feet at the bottom of your case. And oftentimes the case will have a pocket on the top so you can tell the top. When you put it down, make sure
Don't slam it.
don't slam it. And we keep the top on top. When you open it, it needs to be on a flat surface. Do not let your child open their case like this. You'll see them go like this and start to open it. Make sure that it's flat.
You have to go like this.
That's right. Open it up and then lift the lid. And inside of the case, you'll see that there is a sponge beside your violin.
And there is a bow.
And there is a bow on top. That's right. The sponge, this is very important. When you're putting the sponge away, your kid is going to want to place the sponge this way and then stick the violin on top, which raises up the neck. And when you go to close the lid, it will snap the violin in half. So make sure that you always put the violin in first and then place the sponge beside it. Never put the sponge in first.
No.
No.
Put the violin in first.
That's right, the violin goes in first. You'll also notice when the bow is returned to the case that the tip is inside this little pocket here.
And this goes through here.
You'll either have some sort of a latch that goes around it, stand on this side, love, or you'll have a little knob that goes in between the hair and the stick. It's very important. We see a lot of snapped bows. When they go to pull out their bow, oftentimes they will start to pull it this way, leaving the tip inside of this pocket area, and then the tip will snap. So you always have to pull it this way out and then go ahead and move the bow. But we do have a lot of broken bows this way when it snaps. So make sure after you've unhooked the frog that you're pulling straight out this way, and that will avoid breaking the bow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to put the sponge on the violin. This is actually very important. So the sponge has a thin side and a thick side. The thick side is going to go opposite the chin rest. So once you have the violin out, you're going to turn it onto your lap carefully and place the thick side on the opposite side of the chin rest. And then I like to secure it with 2 rubber bands. You can leave the rubber bands once they're in place on the violin and just take the sponge on and off, leaving the rubber bands in place. The reason I like 2 is so that the sponge doesn't move like this. You want to secure the sponge when they go to place it on their shoulder. See, now the sponge doesn't move. Now, Elise, you're going to do rest position for us with this sponge. The sponge is being a bit tricky at the moment. Yeah.
I know how to do rest position.
Okay, rest position. Remember, our arm goes behind our bridge, feet together. There you go. Hand here. Remember the song?
Yeah.
Rest position, feet in line. Scroll out front, that's mighty fine. Check your bridge, 'cause it should be peeking out at you and me. Now it's time to take a bow. Down, 2, 3, and pop. That's how good. And now we do our violin feet. Make your V. Take a step. Good. Statue of Liberty, nice and high. And up on your shoulder. The thick part of the sponge is over the breastbone area, and the thin part of the sponge is up on the shoulder. And you're gonna turn. This violin is too big for my daughter, so you'll see her straining her neck. Your child's violin is not going to be too big, so you won't see them do that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to hold here, and you're going to want to find a toy. The smaller the kid, sometimes a smaller toy is better. Something that's very balanced when they're just beginning. That's not going to fall over very easily. And you just stick it on top of the strings, and then you ask them to let go and cover their heart, and they're going to hold their violin with their chin. Now, my daughter is a little too young to do this without me helping her, but this is just to show you how to do that. All right, back to rest position. Good job. Can you take a bow?